Yeah, Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on him. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's cause he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? We about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go! At the money, now you're all what you getting in. Perfect Plex Radio, got them listening. Mike Knoxxx, from Cena to The Rock, or whatever wrestler is hot. News and interviews, it's a one-stop shop. Matter of fact, let me give you more choices. You could call in and be the voice with the voiceless. So what you waiting on? Let's get it cracking. Let's talk wrestling, that's enough rapping. Perfect Plex Radio. Simply, we about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go!
And people, what a show we have today. Welcome back to Unpopular Review, Perfect Plex Talk Radio. And people, we are here to talk things that we love in this world because we're all crazy. Just like everybody hopped on the bandwagon, or if you were on the bandwagon like myself last night to watch House of the Dragon. Yeah, you thought I was going to go a whole show and not mention that? We got dragons, we got sex, and we got murder. It can't get much better than that. And that's the world of professional wrestling. I mean, hell.
The only murder we acknowledge is Murder, Inc.
What? Hey! What? All right, what? Now I gotta do my. Now I want to play my. What's my fucking name?
Oh, God. So, that's the Murder Inc. song that you choose.
Knoxxx. That's what I chose it for. Spelled with 3 X's because I am hardcore. People, listen, what a plethora of things to talk about today, but I already told you who I was, and now I will tell you who he is. Well, better yet, there it is. Tell me yours.
Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I go by the name of the almighty Dice Man, a.k.a. the Z is silent, a.k.a. Dice Man Holler, a.k.a. the Apprentice of Thanos, a.k.a. the Shang Tsung of this wrestling debate. You come from me, your soul is mine, a.k.a. the head coffee pourer for WWE, a.k.a. the district attorney for the state of pro wrestling, a.k.a. Big champion. The chat is getting kind of heavy holding this title up so many times. Every time I got to school you, every time I got to lift it a little bit higher, Look at it. Now respect it. A.k.a. yo mama's favorite daddy.
And I'm back because I'm the daddy around here, people. Welcome to Perfect Plex Talk Radio. And listen, we got a show today, y'all, because listen, it's time to get back into wrestling. It's time to talk wrestling, not the good, the bad, it's the ugly, it's all that's involved in pro wrestling. And a lot of things happened this past week, so we're going to break it down our way. So today on the show, listen, guys, like I said, the weekend wrestling is here. Omega is back, right? So Kenny Omega is back. And to use the term that the almighty Dice Man used, it was submit to me. And I'm going to tell you about that. You can come at me all you want to, but what's more important, Omega's return or Punk and Moxley showdown? Okay? And all this stuff with CM Punk, is it a work? Is it not to work? 2 words for you, or you can suck it. I don't care. Toxic Attraction on SmackDown? I mean, yes! Get more higher than
yes!
That. Is it time for them? Look at that. He chose that picture for a reason, y'all. The tournament's continuing. The tag team, there's no question marks here, so I don't see the other girls coming back. So will it be this right here going on the screen? Can we see it? And
my baby is a free woman. Well, not really, because she dated Madcap Moss, but
and then we're gonna pick. That went around on the internet this past week, and I'm gonna say shout out to my social media, to the Ayatollahs and Ayakolas of rock and rollers. That's the one, King Von Jr. 720 King on the Twitter, the Victorious One podcast, holding me down for about 10 years now. Okay, throwing the ones up. I had this thing, and it was like all these people got their favorite of all time. And I always say you really can't go wrong, right? It's your list. No matter what you say, it's your list. But is it? If you put like the Shockmaster is like number 10, can I not make fun of that, Dice?
I don't think you can, because it's certain reasons. Like, I already know my list. I know your list is a lot older than mine. I already fucking know. I'm not as much respect as we give. As much respect as we give a Bruno Sammartino, he's not even touching my top 20. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know what he's done for the business, but for me, even if I watch one of his old matches, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't do anything for me. It's kind of not working for me. So I'm not going to put no old-ass Bruno Sammartino on him. Ain't no damn Dusty Rhodes on my list. I know what he's done for the business, but he's not a favorite of mine. So that's where this list is going to get nitpicky because I know a lot of y'all that watch. Y'all
no Dusty Rhodes.
I said no Dusty Rhodes. Not what? Come on. This is my favorites, not yours, not theirs, mine.
Okay.
It's all about me.
We're gonna talk about that later, y'all. And sorry for being late today. It was his fault. All right, just gonna point out there. It's because he has that Wizards hat on. That's what it is.
I have a job.
That Wizard hold on.
No, I have a job where I have to drive. I have to commute and be amongst the people.
Oh God, I hate commuting. I don't know what that even feels like in the last year. I mean, very hard with myself. Can he be in my top 10? I mean, listen. I like the bear heart. It's like a self high five. Will he make your top list? We want to find out. Then I'm gonna call this right now because it's in my mind for me forgetting.
I'll give you another hint. Ric Flair's not in my top.
Okay, we're gonna go blah, 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 right. So I'm gonna do why wrestling finishers are important. So one of my best friends, right, said a long time ago that the diamond cutter is the greatest move for wrestling, and he says it's better than the RKO, right? Because of the formation of how it's done. Like he gets that Randy can catch you from anywhere, but diamond cutters have been caught, just not in the way of Randy, out of anywhere too, but it's like more of like a harder cutter kind of a thing. And I wonder how people will rank where you put what's your top 10 finishers of all time. Because I tell you right now, I don't know where I'll put it, but the heart punch would be in my top 10.
Oh my God.
That's the definition of a mark. Shout out to the Wrestling Marks of Excellence and Hit Factor Radio as well. Here on Unpopular Review. Listen, let's get to the chat real fast. We talk about today's show. What's going on, George? How's it going out there, my guy? Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to confront the winners of the. Well, we hope so. Who's that? Not be without saying something about the GOAT. The GOAT. Which one's the GOAT? I mean, Game of Thrones? Is that what you were trying to spell? I'm just wondering who that is. What's up, Scott? Big cheese in the chats. Hold it down. Happy birthday to the Usos.
I literally watched this man stream last night before I went to bed. I watched this man do 6 no huddles. I kid you not. That man did 6 no huddles. It's my guy, though. It's my guy. Shout out to my guy, Rocky.
Plex. Oh, man. Listen, let's talk about today. And let's just get into the weekend wrestling. All right. And we always start where I feel like this is most important. And so for me, it's got to be for 2 weeks in a row now, AEW. Okay. So Punk comes out, right? Punk comes out. And this is the part I want to mix a couple segments in, Dice. All right. Is it going to be too sweet or is it going to suck this, right? Because we're going to go a lot of places in this conversation right now. And you all heard the promo. I'm not going to say this. I know it's overused. So I'm just using it as I'm a salesman for a living. So I'm using it as a word to just paint a picture. Was this his AEW pipe bomb, right? In a sense, because what a pipe bomb was meant to be or what it was him spitting true facts about what he felt about the business, what he knew that fans felt about the business, right? So in a sense, he didn't do the fans part. He did his part, right? Which was he put a lot of WWE people over. You know what I mean? And putting down AEW in a sense. And is it or isn't not a work? If you watch Lois and Clark, one of my funniest things of all time was my man said, how do you know that Lois Lane is famous in history? Because how can you been with Superman for all these years and not know that he's Superman? When all he does is take off his glasses. So they say, yeah, you're in history for being the dumbest woman in history. It's what they call Lois Lane in the future. So that's how I feel about this conversation about is it a work or not? Because, I mean, it's everywhere. Booker T's talking about it. Busted Open Radio is talking about it. I mean, you name it, your favorite podcast right here on Unpopular Review, Perfect Talk Radio, longest running podcast next to those guys just said a second ago with David LaGreca and them. Okay, going today. So your take on that, and I'll let you go with this. I want to hear where you're going because I love that we didn't watch it together, which it doesn't happen often with us because we've been watching. But like you said, lights are different now between us, and but I loved it. I love when Moxley came out. I'm taking it over the question in which you do have for the day. As I told you, I'm going to mix a lot of things, go a lot of ways today with that. And at is what you say it was an or thing. I'm taking Punk and Moxley showdown over the mid that was Kenny Omega. And shout out to Luna, who came in the party last night to play Madden, gave me a rough run for my money, by the way. Good game, Luna. Really good game. I like the way you play. You got some stuff which I like it. But said it was some mid too, right? Because why did it go? And we like how Justin Roberts does his intros and things like that. But did it go too far? It was a little bit too corny. And I said it was some mid.
No.
Because of that. I actually like that part. I just thought, honestly, after this, I'm going to let you go. All the pops we've heard from returning people, this was kind of like one of the lowest pops I ever heard. I'm just saying, I'm being honest. That's how I felt about the pop. It was like, you knew it was coming. Like, you know what I mean? Like what you named the Punk thing, the biggest not secret that we heard, but you're not sure kind of thing. The floor is yours, my guy. I park a lot of it.
This. I don't care about the pop.
Okay.
I don't care about the hype between these two because they already didn't like each other. I care about the look in that man Omega's eyes. The man had tears in his eyes. That man went through five different injuries. Five different injuries in 8 months.
Okay.
And he put his body on the line during his championship run, which lasted 200 some days. Longest running champion, right? Mm-hmm. So for him to come back with the way that busted open when they asked somebody, right? How did it perceive to you on television? Mm-hmm. Right? We will say something looks like it's incredible on television. And then somebody will call in and be like, yeah, well, like the whole left side of the arena wasn't even doing anything. They was doing like the wave and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like the perception is it was corny. But I saw everybody in that crowd.
The perception of what was corny. I didn't think the perception was corny.
I didn't think that was mid. I thought it was warranted because let's think about it. This was just as easily one of the worst kept secrets. It was one of the worst.
It was the weakest pop I've ever heard from a returning wrestler of that stature of this
because
company.
It's the worst kept secret. Okay,
Punk's pop
first of all, they come out with these trios titles. Mm-hmm. Who is the best trios since that company came? It's okay. So
we knew Punk was back in Chicago. That's the same thing. 6-1 done has another.
I'm not knocking was Kenny Omega gone for 8 months or 8 years?
8 months.
Okay.
How long was Triple H gone?
That shit.
I'm asking the question.
He was there, had damn near half a year.
Okay, but he had a bigger pop than that, right?
That's fine. Okay. But you also had
this crowd that popped.
You also had in a crowd of 10,000 fans. You also had 8,000 signs. So we're not going to talk about the pops then and the pops now. Okay. Like, what's the loudest pop you've seen on TNT or TBS?
CM Punk. Miro's pop I thought was fucking bigger.
Okay, so tonight, before we go and watch Raw, I want you to YouTube any great WCW moment. Okay. YouTube any great AEW moment, and then YouTube the greatest WWE moment you can find.
Okay, I don't have to compare to that.
Hold up. The audio between them. Just listen to the way the microphones sound, right? So what you saying is, I thought it was submitted. The pop wasn't that loud. Sometimes it's not even about the pop. Half the crowd was like crying. I saw people. Sometimes people don't even have to yell. They're just admiring the shit with their cell phones out. Everybody had their phones out, admiring.
They're plants.
And that man came out. He had tears in his eyes. At that point, I'm not going to put it against fucking Punk and Moxley showdown because.
Well, you came up with the goddamn thing.
Yes, because I wanted to show appreciation to Kenny Omega, and I wanted to bring light.
But you put 4, so you're choosing.
Yes, and I wanted to bring light to shut down everybody that's sitting up here busting nuts over CM Punk and Moxley.
Well, because it was better. Now you had your piece.
It was better. It was better, but it wasn't better to me. Okay, but a lot of people are going to say that it's better. Okay. Why is it better? Because it's bringing something fresh. And once again, CM Punk goes into business for himself.
Hold on. All right, okay, my bad. Go ahead.
CM Punk goes into business for himself, throws out some cheap shots at people that's not even in the feud that he's supposed to be in, and everybody goes crazy. You should not be putting down another man and something that doesn't have to do with you. Like, it was a cheap shot against Hangman Adam Page, definitely a cheap shot against Eddie Kingston. I'm not saying Eddie Kingston can beat fucking CM Punk, but who knows? Like, both of them are horrible in the ring at this point in their careers. But Hangman, CM Punk is terrible. He's terrible.
He just ain't good as good no more. He's not horrible. Listen. But can I get in there now? You had your
that man can. All right, last thing, that man can barely give me 3-star matches. I'm telling you.
Okay, wow. Well, him and MJF put on a 4-star match.
That MJF carried.
So I won't say that MJF carried that match. I think because of the way they both their style of wrestling and how that and I'm talking about the collar match, by the way, went, I give it back. But here's why. Okay, and we heard the bravado and the heartfelt wrestling, and that's what you are. You have this time and a place when you flip a coin like Two-Face to say, I'm going to take this side or I'm going to take that side. And so you're taking the Omega side. I commend that. I really do commend that. You're going to take the heartfelt. He's been gone. We miss him. And
nickel in the meter really quick. Nickel in the meter really quick, because the question is what's bigger. To me, it's Omega, because the longevity of what he can bring to the table for the different matchups. Outside of Punk and Moxley, where do these two go at this point? I have more interest in Moxley's story going forward after this than I will CM Punk. I don't care. Like, if Punk doesn't have this belt, I don't care about him and Hangman Adam Page.
All right, that's your nickel.
Yeah.
So where can they go from here? Anywhere. Why are they fighting? Because exactly what Punk said. Exactly. Let me rephrase that. Let me run that back. Because of what Moxley said. He said, just don't mean shit if I don't win that. So the fact that, and I've liked this with UFC, I've kind of always liked this a little bit. I wish maybe did a little bit more with the interim champion. They come back. That's the feud. That's why in the beginning we kept saying it shouldn't have been Moxley, but we knew it had to be Moxley in a sense for their business to be moved forward. And, certain things people thought was too soon for other guys. And that's great. They can go anywhere from this. They can go to Hangman Page. They can go anywhere with these two and what they've already been doing. It doesn't even matter. I don't even. That's that fantasy booking that I myself flip a coin, which a lot of times on the head side of things, not to want to predict. I like to see it unfold. Right? You don't hear you talk about it. Say, hell, let's go ahead and fantasy book it. But I don't like the fantasy book. So anywhere they can go, because there's who those two are, and we're talking about two of the greatest of all time in CM Punk. No matter how mid they were. Let me rephrase that. How mid Punk has been before Wednesday.
The greatest of all time.
I said two of the greatest. I didn't call them the GOATs.
Is he in year 20?
Who, CM Punk?
Yeah.
Yes. He probably at 24. If I had to do it over, I had to think about it on the spot kind of thing. But I would think he cracks the top 25. It's my favorite, not my great. That's my favorite. Yeah, he talks my.
Okay, but put your intelligent cap on. Put your intelligent cap on.
It's right there.
You, in the way that you look at wrestling, in the way that I know that you look at wrestling, how you respect the craft of wrestling. Is he in 25? Used
to be. In that realm of wrestling, no. But again, how I view wrestling is the total package.
So is this iteration of Punk tarnishing his legacy?
I don't think it's tarnishing it, because I've seen wrestlers fall worse than him from the ring grace of being great in the ring. I've seen it happen worse than that. So for me, but and just for time purposes, we got a lot to discuss today, and it's a lot of food on the plate today. Just so I'm gonna go or. And again, to me, I look at a big return, and I don't see tears in his eyes. But I gotta go watch it over. Maybe I over.
They're watering. They're watering.
And this picture doesn't show it. And I ain't got my glasses on, but I got HD in front of me. Right. And I just look at the moments of sports. And I think Wednesday night was big for this company, which still did not, do the numbers they thought they would do, but still a great show to me. I thought Dynamite was dynamite. All right. I give it a JJ Evans all the way. Dynamite, all that nonsense. I thought it was for both moments. And I'm not an Omega guy, right? I'm not. I think he's very tremendous in the ring. To me, that's where the buck stops. I think everything else is like he needs to go to the AJ Styles of how to be vanilla and prove people that you're not vanilla. That's just me. I think he tries too hard. I don't think it's really authentic. And if that's just him, it's like they found that Ronda Rousey has some kind of speech thing. Maybe Kenny Omega has to. It's like watching Beyonce act. No matter how great she sings, she can't change her voice. Right? It's like watching, Mary J. Blige act. You just can't help it. You know what I mean? And that's how I see when I see Kenny Omega talk. It's like, damn, he just can't help himself, right? Can't help that Jack Swagger Five-time All-American Jack Swagger talking a list.
I like where you going. I like where you going. I like where you going. Now I got to pull your card and I got to karate-size you, my brother. You out here talking about Kenny Omega mic skills.
Okay.
No.
I'm
Everybody
talking
in the
about
chat.
total package. No, hold on.
everybody-
Nickel and the meter. Before you go on your soliloquy and go all hype and exciting, I'm talking about as far as that being something that's number one in his list. It's not there. I think Bobby Lashley speaks better than him. I think
let's
Big
not forget that
E.
you have a pure disdain for Kenny Omega. Before
I don't
you
have a
make that
disdain.
statement.
That's no. Do I like the guy? No. Do I hate him like I hate Zack Ryder? No. I just don't see the hype that everybody hypes him. That has to do with me having.
By the way,
clear
Zack
vision
Ryder,
of my
he
goggles.
still thinks you suck.
Say who? Yeah. Dude. Okay. But no, let's move on. I want to go back there. Let's move on. We got to talk about, right? So into that CM Punk thing, right? Where people say, is it a work? I mean, someone gets it. Are you going to suck this thing or are you going to DX? You know what I mean? 2 words for it. Not you suck it. You know what I mean? God damn it. You know what I mean? Stop it. All right?
Just
You
say
already know
2
what I'm trying to
words.
I don't know how to
Mess that up
all
every
the time.
single week.
Every time.
It's
I'm
either
old.
2 words or too sweet. That's
There
it.
it is. That's it.
I'm either going to suck that or I'm not going to suck that. Whoa.
I like them pointy. So long and pointy. All right. So back in 2011, Triple H, will he make somebody's top list of all time? Is the question. You only accept change when it means CM Punk is on top. Because unless CM Punk is not the guy, that's not enough for you. You and me.
This is a horrible.
I know, it's really bad. It's really bad. It's really bad. Are you the game? Are you a lot alike? Punk, the only difference is I told everybody I'm going to step on them to get to the top. So, he comes out and now people say he's a business. The whole thing with him and Adam Page and here I am now and them knowing he's not in the back and all that kind of stuff. Is this real? Is this a work?
This is no work. This is no work. When people in the business can see through a promo and they can see through the words, like listen to the Busted Open. They made it perfectly clear. He had no reason to call out somebody that's not in his feud.
I would if I was him.
No, I don't see it. I don't see him doing it, but he should if he's smart before Triple H doubles back and gets him. He should. Vaughn, I need you to cut the malarkey because I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy.
I do think Roman speaks. I do think Roman Reigns speaks better than Roman. No, Roman speaks way better than Kenny Omega.
He was the worst speaker in the Shield.
Okay, maybe. Okay, yes. Okay, yes.
There's no maybe about that. He was the worst speaker in the Shield.
It don't matter what you was.
Let's not go off for the past 2 years.
It doesn't matter what you was. It's what you are, and what they currently are. The tribal chief can talk rings around that boy.
Okay. Now,
and that's without Heyman. People remember Heyman don't talk for Roman no more.
Okay, let me check. Let me check.
Can't be king.
Because the Don Callis is the Paul Heyman of AEW when it comes to his champion. Okay, so if you're going to give the guidance,
it's only one person on the motherfucking show.
If you're going to give the guidance to a Roman, and now you're going to give Roman the speaking credit, I need you to do the same for Kenny. Because Kenny has been improving on the microphone as well.
So
let's not act like Roman.
That's my
Let's
truth.
not act like Roman is as good as The Rock on the microphone because the boy still just
he's one of the top 3 of all time. No, he's not no Rock.
The top of all time.
Okay.
The top.
Yeah, I mean, some would say Ric Flair. Some would say Dusty Rhodes. Some would say Stone Cold. I wouldn't.
Ain't nobody. I'm not. Man, I almost walked out. You no damn Stone Cold. Anybody thinking about you, Otis?
Can we play that song?
Back to Triple H though. 100%. We thought that back then we thought it was just storyline, right? But there was some sour grapes on his part, Punk's part, for the disdain that he had against Triple H. And lo and behold, Triple H has always had the business aspect of professional wrestling in his blood. I mean, watching that DX documentary
I just
on
finished it today, by the
AEW,
way, before we started.
he literally had creative in his mind in 96, 94.
A good wrestler,
you know what I'm saying? It's
a good.
He's
If you
always
get
evolved.
the man's ear to hear you, then yeah. But I think they all do that because at the end of the day, every wrestler goes into business for themselves. That's why I always get mad. People say they check this wrestler out, they're like this. No, every wrestler who's ever left and done what the girls have done, what Brock Lesnar has done, what Austin has done, what Shawn Michaels has done, what Bret Hart has done. You name them, insert them. Ric Flair has done. Hogan has done. They're all assholes for leaving how they leave. I don't care about what anybody tells me about the company, this and other. I don't care. And I get you have money to bounce, do what you want to do. But I'm speaking from a fan's perspective, not somebody who's a fan like you guys, not talking about you guys as I look at you like, you know how they get, oh my God, he did some fellatio, so I don't like him no more. He all kind of dumb stuff. Doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna like somebody because they do something that, stop it. People grow up. That's the problem. You don't grow up enough. This is the show for the intelligent wrestling fan. This is Unpopular Review. We'll be right back, y'all. We're gonna finish the weekend wrestling out. We're gonna come back this top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time. Not yet. We'll be right back, y'all. Perfect Plex Talk Radio.
Have the insights to do it.
Welcome to UPR presents Anime Is Us.
Antomaki.
Yeah, something's giganto and then something. He was talking about all the foods and especially caramel apples, candied apples. She didn't even know.
But no, it worked.
Yeah, Bongo was working on drums because he was secretly taking music lessons back before he entered UA.
And
Money in the Bank season's upon us. They call this the Big Five.
The Shields explode. I loved it. Those are my number two. I had to. I thought he was going to cheat, so I was doing my extra special shit with my picture on it, showing how I'm a belt king. I wanted to stick to hey, hey, ho, ho.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Unpopular Reviews Top 5. Man, there was rumors that they were going to remake them with Will Smith and Eddie Murphy. Now I could smoke a bag of that. Obviously, nothing ever came of it. It sure shit ain't gonna happen now.
No.
But my favorite one of the trilogy is my number 2 greatest boxing movie of all time, which is Let's Do It Again.
Blog Talk Radio. Your boy Mike Knoxxx. The game version 1. The best game show on radio. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Mike Knoxxx. 3 X's, cause I'm hardcore. Woo! You know what I mean?
You can call me CEO.
The best damn show in radio. Electrifying man and sports talk radio.
Fly it in a piece of paper bearing my name. Got the hottest chick in the game wearing my chain. That's right.
I am your $1 million host. You are the $1 million audience, and together we tag in and out to form the $1 million connection.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
And we are back here on Popular Reviews Perfect Plex Talk Radio. Mike Knoxxx, the Z is silent. Looks out for people tomorrow. I will be joining Sports Gamers Online, YouTube. Y'all know who they are. Get your sports gaming fix as I join their podcast crew. So yes, Unpopular Review expands again. And so does Mike Knoxxx and the best damn show on radio. And the people that are connected to me. Just told you I'm the $1 million host. You're the $1 million audience. Together we tagging out to form the $1 million connection. And then Wednesday, the one that started it all. The best damn show in radio where barbershop talk meets radio comes back to the airwaves. Blog Talk Radio, 347-637-3859 to call in. Wherever you are, have an opinion, let us know how you feel. Starting at 7 o'clock. A lot of things, Unpopular Review Entertainment. We got our series going on. A lot of things talking to Zia Silent podcasts are starting soon. And sports is coming. Fantasy football. Should we do a fantasy football? We're going to do a fantasy football next week, y'all. We're going to do a fantasy football live on air. Get that out after the show. want to join? 10 people, 8 people. Let's do it. But Dice, the week in wrestling continues, and I'm going to go straight to SmackDown. Okay. Because, my wife was sick this past week. Had to leave work. And so she was in the hospital over the weekend, and I was in the hospital. And so I saw everything late, and I saw this like on my way. She got transported. And I said, Toxic Attraction replaces Nikki Lyons and Zoe, or Miss Starks, that is. And I was like, wow, that's what it should have been in the first place, was watching these girls and what they were going to do. And then, well, not only when you saw this, I saw them on the stage. No, it's not the granddaddy of them all, but
the lights were bright.
Attraction, the lights were bright.
They're ready.
This wasn't even with the time is now for Toxic Attraction, Dice. I say bring these girls up. I think they did awesome. And I saw, and you know how it is for me, right? It's like a light bulb. Sometimes switches. It's okay. I'm that's who I am. I don't care, right? Sometimes in different scenes, it doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't fit, right? Sasha Banks to me early on in NXT didn't fit to me. I had to see NXT evolve to see how she was with them to evolve. And then the rest is history. And just seeing them in SmackDown in this small but big stage in Toronto, or wherever they were, Montreal, Canada. I mean, which one of them Canadas they were at? I think it was Montreal.
Montreal.
Okay. And boom. Toxic Attraction was the attraction to me outside of Roman Reigns on SmackDown this past week. And I thought it was phenomenal. I thought them girls were phenomenal. And I actually thought even TikTok with the clock in the back with as McIntyre comes back, like that picture is like, that's classic WWE right there, storytelling, and I loved it. Your take on SmackDown, and most importantly, Toxic Attraction.
We cannot forget about the interaction between Sammy and Roman. Sammy finally gets to sit down with Roman. I mean, that is some good television right there. I mean, Sammy is just I gotta get my hats off to him. I gotta eat a little crow because I was not with the Sammy character for the longest time. I am definitely coming around to him for the past month and a half.
How much do I mark for Sammy? I got 2 shirts.
I mean, I didn't like the conspiracy theory, Sammy.
I love that too. I wish that still came on. You can always unpull that, Dice. You can always go back to the tapings. He reminded me, and I don't know if this is offensive or it is. I apologize right now. The viewer discretion is advised when I say this. This is my ignorance, okay? But what would you call like the Jewish like army, right? That's how he looked to me. like
his outfit, yeah. I thought it was just amazing. I love that. I love everything about Sami Zayn. So go ahead. I thought it was. I mean, that alone was pretty fucking entertaining to me. And then you see Jay's calling him while he's talking about. He just gets done talking about Jay, and and he's like, "Yeah, we got some trouble at the border." There was no trouble. Jimmy couldn't get in.
No, well, there was trouble.
I mean, well, but they knew this shit. They knew this shit going in. Yeah, they knew this shit going in. That, you know what I'm saying? But I thought that was great. But I was really interested in seeing. If y'all been watching this show for the past 2 months, maybe 3, the only reason I watch NXT is Toxic Attraction. I said it 3 months ago. Toxic Attraction, they are ready. Bring them girls up. And now we see that we have Damage Control, allegedly, because they filed for it. That is what's going to happen.
Damn it! Why the name got to change?
And these two women, I thought did a great job. Yeah, they had a couple of slip ups, but they still got
corniness in them, though.
They were still a little fresh.
NXT that makes me go, maybe not yet, but the stage was bright, and I think they delivered.
The lights were bright. It was a big ass crowd, more than they're used to. Okay, it's fine, but for them to go against 2 veterans like that, you got a veteran and Sonya who can really make anybody look good, and Natty, Natty can make anybody look good. I thought Natty and Sonya was the perfect team for them to go against and for them to go over on. And at this point, and then you saw Bailey and the rest of Damage Control over on the sidelines hawking off at him. And I'm like, yes, I'm for this. I am for this. Because one, Toxic Attraction has ran NXT for the past 6, 7, 8 months, ever since it's been 2.0. Maybe a month or two before the brand change. They've been that couple, that trio. Damage Control needs something other than 3 people who have to come together.
I'm sorry,
right?
That to me tells me that maybe, just maybe, the other girls aren't signed. That's what this tells me. That's what that tells me, right? Because or they're signed and you're saving it. Whatever the case may be, we got our girls out there. People saying she's smoking weed because she's at a cookie convention. But she could be probably eating it. She lives in Florida. That's probably, it's legal. Probably wherever she lives if she's not Florida. You know what I mean? So it doesn't hurt your body, especially if you're eating it. You know what I mean? So
I mean, it's not like she's like, New Jack doing coke before matches. Like, what do you want to do?
It's called booger sugar, and sometimes you need to pick me up. So, but no, can't take nothing from SmackDown. What's your thoughts of Raw last week? I know it's a week removed, right? We're there back again today. Madden was out for me, so I watched Raw, but I don't remember it being bad, right?
No, Ziggler in theory was amazing.
Yeah, well,
that was amazing.
I'm getting tired of Theory going to the bottom rope. He got to do that. He got to get that down to once a match. Seriously, I see him doing now 4 times a match, 5 times a match. Like, dude, it's kind of cool until you do it every 5 times in a match, right? That's like getting Naomi's kicks 5 times in a match. You get them twice, maybe, if the match is going a long time and they're in the corner or something. Because she was that's different. Plus, it's Naomi and it's Flaming Young in that package. But I mean, I just need more from Theory from that. But your takes on Raw.
I thought Raw was pretty decent. I mean, once again, if you're expecting immediate change, anybody that's hawking for this Triple H regime, if you change over the ownership of a company,
right,
a publicly traded company at that, look, go Google anything you want. It's at least going to take 6 months for that change to really be definitive. Right, you got old policies, you got old culture, you got changing of the guard and getting rid of, dead weight, loose weight. Which, sorry, Jeff Jarrett, they got rid of you, and things like that. Like,
long.
Yeah, no, it wasn't gonna be long. But I just think that they want immediate sign this person, sign that person, sign. No, he's doing what he's supposed to do, fluffing up the roster, right? Getting us more matchups that aren't a bunch of rematches from pay-per-views that we've seen, and he's given us
McIntyre and Kevin Owens. McIntyre and Kevin Owens, NDC, tore the house down. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Would he make my top 25? You're damn right. I would have Kevin Owens. Okay, and I have to copy the executive consultant. If you can build a professional wrestler, I used to think the model was Triple H, and then I thought Robert Roode had it. Just a little bit, she's a little bit taller, but McIntyre is that guy, and I like how he came out. I thought Raw, looking back, and not just that, I got something that I thought was really good. Was I want to talk about? I know everybody loves Ciampa. We've talked about this. I look at wrestlers. What can they do besides wrestle? Right? I give it in NXT. I do with DIY with Hell where they did him and Gargano. Even their separate matches, love them, right? It was okay. What do you do after you wrestle? And I get it's corny as fuck, but I like to see a wrestler take a gimmick and own it. And when I see that from Kenny Omega, then I'm gonna say, okay, I see that, I feel it, I can feel that, I think that's real to me. Wrestling's about connecting to people. And I'm not saying that by any stretch of imagination that what Ciampa did is connecting to me, right? I haven't seen it long enough. But I told you, I said, I like that. I like to see that he took it, he ran with it, however, because what they say, Stardust did it better. When they give you shit, okay, you make shit soup, okay? Get over it. Just pick it up. Just get over with, right? Just get over with. So, and it's with the Miz. So, it can't be that bad necessarily, right? And Triple H is there. So I have faith in what Triple H is going to guide this guy to. Okay, and maybe, just maybe, and I don't know this. I have no inside intel. I'm not going to tell you, hashtag depth of dirt sheets. Well, they said so-and-so Johnson on Johnson and Johnson sides wrestling Johnsons said that that's going to happen. I don't know who the hell those Johnsons are. All right, I know Bob Johnson. You can blame it on him when I get my house in Malibu. Okay, but I thought Raw was good. I thought Raw was really good. And I think the weekend wrestling has picked it up. And I thought this AEW had to pick it up after Triple H was doing what he was doing. They can sit there and say they didn't react or reactionary, even including Rampage. Okay, yeah. Including Rampage. Although I didn't like Tony Khan's dumbass tweet. Because Tony Khan's pretty
a jackass. Tony Khan,
I want you to fire me, you fucking mark.
Tony Khan's a jackass. Tell him Dice said it. I don't give a shit.
And but two African American tag teams for the first time in history. The other tag team's private party. We know who's going to win the match, and I get it. There has to be enhancement talent. Barry Horowitz, shout out to you. But he make my top. I'm telling you, he might crack the top 50. Okay. So overall, weekend wrestling, so we can move on. I'm going to give the weekend wrestling Dice. I'm serious. I'm going to give it. Ready for this? I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 Bret the Hitman Hart Intercontinental title runs. I think it's that promising and where wrestling is right now. I really do. I'm excited to watch every single show. Even when they don't make him back, I'm not knocking who he is and what he brings to the table. I can admire a wrestler, and I understand the group that he's behind as well. So I'm not dense. I was watching, be the elite and turn other people on to being the elite. You know what I mean? It's not that. It's just I don't feel him in the wrestling ring. And I don't like and keep it a bean, as the kids would say, no cap. Because my day Cap was shooting some damn body, but today it means no lie. I'm not lying. Okay, I don't get y'all overhype them, y'all, and it makes me just not like them because y'all overhype them, and then that alone just it turns me off. What's your bell grade for the weekend wrestling, brother? So we can move on.
You know what? I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 Miz Intercontinental Championship runs. Want to know why? It's good. It's not bad. It's dependable. You can never go wrong with dependable. You can never go wrong with cream of wheat. I had cream of wheat again for the first time in like 2 years. I forgot how much I love fucking cream of wheat. That's what it is. It's dependable. You don't always want it. You don't always crave it. But when you get it, it's good. And the same thing with pro wrestling. You don't know that you want it until you get it. And you're like, God damn it, this pro wrestling shit is good. Quote the Dice, man.
It was a lot better than cream of wheat, but we're gonna take a break.
Wheat is good. When the last time you had a nice bowl of cream of wheat?
About a year or two ago, and it's good. It's it's just something better than cream of wheat. You just compare it to Miz, who has massive balls, to cream of wheat.
It's dependable.
The Miz is dependable.
Well, hell, cream of wheat can be lumpy.
I just think it's been better than dependable. That's all.
Cream of wheat can be lumpy.
Ew. It can be. You're right. It shouldn't be. It should not be lumpy. We're going to be right back. Come back with This Week in Wrestling History. And then get into this wrestling top wrestlers of all time. And we're going to go back and find out, is it 2 words? Or we got 2 words for you?
You still mess it up.
Damn it.
You're fired.
One without the other isn't any good. Oh, I knew he was going to do that. Yo, this is T. Murray. Mike, happy 3000 show, bro. You've been doing this thing a long time. I've been on a few. We've had a ball on them. Keep rolling, bro. Congrats, as I say again, and the future's yours, bro.
Yo, it's crime time. EST. Soul Man, Rocky Johnson. It's the Honky Tonk Man, NWO. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? UPR and Around the Blocks give to you This Week in Wrestling History with King Von.
All right. Thank you very much. Of course, your Week in Wrestling History. This is King Von Jr. on behalf of the Victorious Ones podcast. And of course, I'm here to give you your weekend wrestling history. And of course, on August 21st, 1979, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes defeated Harley Race to become the NWA Heavyweight Champion. Of course, August 21st, 2005, SummerSlam took place in Washington, D.C. Of course, I was part of that. And that night was when Shawn Michaels wrestled HH. And, of course, John Cena defeated Chris Jericho. Batista defeated JBL. Rey Mysterio defeated Eddie Guerrero. And of course, also on that day and on August 21st as well. Actually, that was it for the 21st. On August 22nd of 1999, Triple H won the WWF Championship for the first time at SummerSlam 99 when he defeated Stone Cold and Mankind with Jesse Ventura as the guest referee. Raw 2005, John Cena defeats Chris Jericho in a You're Fired match, where Jericho takes a break for 2 years. Of course, in 2015, NXT TakeOver over Brooklyn took place, where we saw Sasha Banks versus Bayley in one of the greatest women's matches of all time. And of course, as far as the birthdays this week, Paul Ellering, legendary manager of the Legion of Doom, turned 69 today. Of course, we want to say happy birthday to Jimmy and Jay Uso, the Unified Tag Team Champions, who both turned 37. Apollo Crews turns 35. Of course, August 24th, former WWE owner Vince McMahon turns 77. And, of course, WWE Hall of Famer Sergeant Slaughter turns 74 on August 27th. And, of course, that is your week in wrestling history. Mike Knoxxx, back to you.
Yo, it's crime time. EST. Soul Man, Rocky Johnson. It's the Honky Tonk Man, NWO. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? UPR and Around the Blocks give to you This Week in Wrestling History with King Von.
It's interesting. Where were you guys? Where were you guys this whole weekend when you were calling me an unprofessional piece of shit?
Where is MJF? Oh, almighty Dice Man. So I'm going to say 100%. This CM Punk shit is real. I don't think it's a work. I know there's a contingent out there that believes that it is. And I always say this, as I say this is the show for the intelligent wrestling fan, because I recognize I'm not just a citizen reporter. I do my due diligence, and that means I get my news as a citizen reporter from those who actually break the real news. And when that people are in the business say he went into business for himself, he went into business for himself. Does that make him a bad guy? No. Did it make the ratings pop? I think absolutely. Did I get excited for? Yes, I did. But that's also what AEW always does, right? They always have to do something to say about the other company to get themselves over. At the end of the day, that's a fact, people. Okay? There's a reason why it's such a horrible stood of fighting people out here, which I don't get still, but it's a lot of that. Those are factual statements. Through all they do, their biggest stars, who they're getting to push the most, it's the same as any other wrestling company. I said that from the beginning. Doesn't matter how great you wrestle. If they don't know you, it don't matter. You got to put butts in the seats. You got to sell stuff. So they can give you all the fluff all they want to. They're all going to revert back to, we have the question, is it Omega or Punk and Moxley? Well, right now, that to the right is going to sell the tickets right now. So that's what they got to go with. Although Omega might be better for the company, and it should be honestly better for the company than those two guys, to be real. You know, it should be Omega to me against Moxley again. That's what I want to see. You say we're going to go from there. Okay, so that's what I want to say. I think Moxley has the greatest interest in professional wrestling that's not in WWE. I did that right there. But let's get into this, Dice. Well, dude, that's a hell of a thunderstorm. Did you hear that in my microphone? What do you got on this? Is it 2 words for you, or is it too sweet?
That what?
Is that a work or not?
I don't think it's a work. Okay. I think it was a work at the beginning, and then shit got real. Like I believe that they thought that something a deal would work out or work itself out in place, and I would figure that now. I'm about to get to that. I would figure now something is in place. Like we're getting Mox and Punk on TV for free, right? So there has to be, with roughly 12 days until the pay-per-view, which is supposed to be one of their biggest. Has that been announced?
That's going to be on Dynamite.
Yeah, that's Wednesday.
Okay,
they're giving that shit away for free.
Hey, well,
so there has to be a bigger plan
than that. Absolutely.
Than that. But I mean, if I had my way,
I still don't think
like
Punk is ready.
Michelle say, I don't think he's ready either. So I think that this is maybe a write-off or something, some sort. But you need to insert Hangman Adam Page and you give MJF what he wants. Make this a fatal 4-way. We've never seen a multi-person championship match yet outside of tag champs. That's it. Like we've never seen it
for the title. No, wow, that's a good. That's a good. I didn't even realize that. You're right.
I mean, we've never seen that outside of the tag champs. That's it. Just throw a whole bunch of people in the ring and let them do anything. But then when it comes to the singles, it's just 1v1. Like I said it about the women's championship. You have 5 women, and you keep giving the same position to 2 people. But any one of those other 5 can wrestle. They can wrestle just as good as the other, and give Thunder Rosa a run for her money. In which I think her time is up. La Mera, I think her time is up.
Statlander is not going to be nobody's champion, but could this be some girl's champion? She is done with Impact.
Woo!
Where did she go?
She better go back home to WWE still.
It's Emma.
And, you know, I mean, I could see her fluffing up that AEW women's roster because she definitely is needed. Listen, the Athena signing, trash. It was a shot in the arm. But you know what? The fix is now worn off.
Okay,
she's delegated to doing
the triple threat for the title.
She's delegated to doing freaking AEW Dark Elevation, whatever that shit is. Like, come on now. You got us excited about her coming there, and that's some mess. But I do think that Tenille would boost that. I would love to see a match between her and Britt Baker. Like I tell you, she is one of my top 3 that's not signed by WWE. She's one of my top 3. It's her, Purrazzo, and Britt Baker. That's it.
All right.
Actually, Thick Mama Pump, she's up there too. She's an honorable mention. Thick Mama Pump,
so,
she's up there.
We do the drafts. Took a break last week, had something more fun. And then over the weekend, just people got a list. You know, Mac Manny and them have a list. You know, everybody got a list now of their top 10 favorites of all time. And again, I do say it's your favorite, yo. Like, if you want to put Imperium as like your top 4 faction of all time, technically, although I laugh at it, that's your list. But so I guess you can't be wrong, right? Because it's your list. So you cannot go wrong in this one. So, Dice, I want to start because I like to give the anticipation, which isn't that much when it comes to me a little bit, but I'm still going to go 10-1. So I would like to do things, so I'm going to keep it going.
Oh, now you want to go 10-1.
Last time I tried to go 10-1.
Last time I tried to get you to do a 10-1, you was like, "Why are we doing that way?" I was like, "You got
no,
to
sir. I haven't jumped in about a week or so. I promise you. I think it should always count from the bottom to the top. It should always how this goes. That's how it's always been. That's how it always shall be. So number 10 on my favorite list
is lying
of all time, because it's my list. See how nobody? I guarantee he's in nobody's probably top 10 that I know personally. I put Barry Windham. I loved Barry Windham as a child growing up in the 80s. Watching this guy right here, man, NWA US champion when he came in. It's something about, we talk about the Ortons and the guys who are ring generals who just makes wrestling look really easy. It's this man right here, Barry Windham. Spent time in every major company there's ever been. Hall of Famer. Well-deserved at my number 10. Again, you can't go wrong because it's your list. You know, unless, you know, I do have to resort this line back. You know where I'm going from Road Trip. If you put peanut butter on your penis and you let your dog lick it, is it wrong? And he goes, well, it's your dog, but it's your dog. No, that's nasty, bro. So what you got at number 10, Dice?
Number 10. I'm going to go. First of all, I can't even put him in here because the shit is full.
Really?
Never mind. All right. Number 10 is my favorite big man of all time. I don't care about yours. Don't give a hot shit. This is mine. Number 10. Big Red Machine, Kane. I always loved him more than The Undertaker. I always thought he wrestled too.
That's weird.
I thought he had a lot more agility than The Undertaker, even though Undertaker did the old school walk on the ropes, I still thought that Kane moved better in the ring than Taker. And I just loved his persona. I like Kane. This iteration of Kane, I like Kane with X-Pac. I thought that was a dope tag team. The way that they formed, because he just ended up throwing X-Pac into their opponents, and he would just end up in a pin, and they'd be tag champs. So I thought, hey, why not? He's my favorite big man of all time. Why not put him in my top 10?
Love that pick. Love that pick. Love that pick. Number 9 on my list as I go back. Let me take it back. Not that far back, but I'm still going to take it back because, again, I try to tell y'all people that just because he calls himself the W head poor and all that stuff, I've been deemed literally those things, right? Like, people have stopped talking to me because they just think, well, you're WWE this. No, because I'm using my intelligent mind and like the shit that you guys just want to like anything because your butt hurt. Let's be real here. You're mad they didn't give you what you wanted, so you just hate them. Okay? But anyway, New Japan Pro Wrestling ain't new, y'all. And neither was them coming over. This man right here, when I saw the Great Muta, it made an impression on me like nobody's ever made on me in my time. And I mean, the way he wrestled, he didn't talk. Right? Just how you talk about the art of storytelling in the ring. The Great Muta had it written all over his face, literally. Okay. And the miss was like the first I'd seen. I think maybe the missing link was before his, but the way his was done was just way better than me. Okay. And yeah, I said the missing link, Google them, people. But right there, number 9 for me, Dice, the Great Muta. My favorites.
There's no judgment here. Listen, you surprised me with that one. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The Great Muta. I was like, okay,
Muta.
All right, I can't knock it.
Oh man, those would have been amazing, Vaughn. Oh my God, that been dope as hell.
I'm glad that you mentioned the word amazing. Since you said amazing, let's get to the most amazing mathematician in the history of mathematicians. My guy, Big Bang Booty Daddy, Big Papa Pop Scott Steiner. And also who I think is the greatest tag team wrestler of all the times. There could be an argument made.
I won't go.
There could be an argument made. However,
I won't.
It's slim picking of teams that can out wrestle him and Rick.
To me, I mean, only 2 can actually maybe. I'm gonna stop that.
I would love to see. I would love to see
for a second.
I would love to see Owen and Brett versus Rick and Scott.
Yep, absolutely.
And Rick and Scott in their heyday.
Because my favorite tag team is the British Bulldogs.
Really? Okay, so
that's my favorite tag team of all time. It's the British Bulldogs. My number 2 favorite tag team of all time is the Steiner Brothers. Okay,
that's my number 1.
They are amazing. I love that pick, although I don't like Big Papa Pump as much as you do. that's your guy. My number 8 on this list. And we thought about this list, right? I thought about some people.
We're talking about in their prime. We're not talking about
we're talking about just
prime.
Yeah. And what did he say? What did he say? He wrestled them?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about prime.
I think he's right. I think you're right. I don't think it was them to the wrestle. I think it was the Hart Foundation that wrestled the Steiner brothers. I don't think it was Owen and Brett. If I'm wrong, I know I will stand corrected, and executive consultant here, so he's going to say something right or wrong in a second.
I'm surprised he ain't jumped in yet,
but
I might have spoken too soon.
I tell you this much. I looked at who's my favorite, and I have when The Rock said Fruity Pebbles, he was talking to me because I bought like all them damn colored John Cena shirts, but he didn't make my top 10. He did.
Fruity Pebbles didn't make yours?
He did not make my top 10.
He didn't make mine.
Who did? You know who did make my top 10? The guy who had a movement in professional wrestling, the Yes movement. Daniel Bryan is the epitome of what majority of AEW fans and that kind of ilk of wrestling fans love. And I'm paying homage to that because I'm not as far removed as you some bitches think I am. I'm an intelligent wrestling fan. I keep trying to tell y'all, Bret Hart told me I knew my shit. So who the fuck you think you are? Okay. Daniel Bryan is one of the most popular wrestlers, in my opinion, in the history of wrestling. he overcame that WrestleMania, that Yesu-mania, that had to get picked up after.
Hate it.
Undertaker lost.
Hate
it. I mean, one of my favorites of all time. Every step of the way, everything he does, I will always support Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. Doesn't matter. I was an American Dragon fan from ECWA. That's Eastern Wrestling Federation Wrestling down there in Delaware. These wrestlers like Bear Delaware right there on 42. Okay. I would go see him. That's why I would see Charlie Haas and those guys would come through. Okay. For the Shamrock Cup. Okay. So I go a little further. You motherfuckers think I am. No, come at me, dog. You ain't ready for my wrestling list. Okay. Number 8. There he is. The yes man himself.
Number 8. And it hurts me that he's so far back, but damn it. What else?
Yeah, me too.
You know what?
I was surprised too that he didn't make my top 10. But I had to be honest.
The Rated R Superstar.
You could have picked a better.
Number 8. That man is in the best shape of his life at that picture.
I don't know about that. He's old. So.
You give me another old motherfucker as old as him look like that. Besides Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley look like.
Okay, I'm about to say. What are you talking about? But no, I'm sorry. When you say best shape of your life, I just think when you're younger, that's and that's all. But he looks great.
Well, they consider that shit. They're probably breathing a little bit better.
My life. You've been fucked up for 8 years. So, shoot.
Number 8, Edge, Rated R Superstar. Just had an amazing A&E biography, whatever everything is, bio documentary, whatever. Pretty good, really good. I wish they would have dove a little bit deeper into his life, but we've seen multiple Edge documentaries, so there's no need for that. This is for the people.
This ain't for us. It's for a whole different audience.
Yeah. So I thought it was great. His career is one of the best, one of the greatest we've ever seen. His comeback story is one of the greatest that we've ever seen, and his story is one of the most inspirational. So, number 8 for me.
Right into it. May he rest in peace. I've had a chance to interview this man multiple times. Razor Ramon. When I really started to appreciate vignettes,
that boy was in the ghetto.
And saw this guy, and just as corny as it sounded, it didn't matter. That's wrestling. People forget that wrestling can be corny. It's wrestling. We saw, didn't people cheer for Pepe? Right? When he was riding a broomstick, the wiggle, right? So the accent didn't bother me. But when you saw this guy perform, and I knew about him as the Diamond Stud, I knew about him in AEW as Scott Hall. I'm that older, watched him grow from those other federations to becoming Razor Ramon. Because again, WCW may have had the moniker, but where the big boys play will always be WWF, WWE. End of story, hashtag. Okay? Why? Because wrestling is hashtag storyline. Number 7, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. One of the greatest of all time.
Absolutely. I can't get mad at that. It's just, see, most people like WWF Scott. I like WCW.
To me, they're the same guy.
Scott Hall. Like,
the same guy.
I don't know. Not to me. I didn't. Razor Ramon in WWF is not Scott Hall in WCW.
His was grungier. He was what Scott Hall could be without the handcuffs. But the accent stayed the same. I like that. The toothpick stayed the same. The wrestling move stayed the same. Nothing changed anything he did in WCW besides have more freedom to have a microphone in front of him. In WWE at that time, WWF at the time, it's your time, you're off. Them guys took over whole shows from the beginning to the middle to the end. That's what they were. So you got it number 7.
So if I'm talking Edge at 8, that means I'm doing his counterpart at 7. Randall Keith Orton. I mean, we're talking about careers here. You talking about if you want a guy to look like a professional wrestler, you picking Drew McIntyre? I'm picking that guy. I'm picking Randy Orton. I mean, the kid was nice at 24. He came in, he was ready, but he wasn't ready.
News alert or update. That's when I became a fan. From that point on, this kid.
His career. I mean, they'll probably have him tie Cena. I don't think Cena will break it, but I think that he'll end up tying. Well, I mean, hey, Triple H is in charge now, so maybe he will tie it. You know, or maybe Triple H be like, nah, you're not scratching me. You're gonna
We
stay
haven't,
with me.
listen, we didn't even talk about Triple H being in charge and when Randy's ready to come back, what that could mean. Right? I think that's scary in itself to even put that in perspective. I like that. I like these lists so far, and this is why I love this show. We're gonna pick one more. We're gonna take our last break or and go on here. So check this out, right? I got jackets, I got pants. I got t-shirts. You know what I call this remote control in my house? Elizabeth. You know what I call this remote control in my house? Elizabeth. My car is named Elizabeth because the first heel I've ever loved was the Macho Man Randy Savage. You got lust in your eyes, Hogan. You got lust in your eyes for Elizabeth. He is the, like, and I don't even understand it because he always threatened to smack her, like all the time. You know what I mean? Those early years of Macho Man Randy Savage was those years when he's going against, you know, Steamboat and he's going against Jake the Snake. But that Randy Savage was, to me, his prime Randy Savage, right? Before the Hogan stuff and when he won the belt, the intercontinental years of Randy Macho Man Savage to me are the best of his career to me. I get he won the title. I get all that. I get what he did with Hogan. But Macho Man Randy Savage. I can't even hear Beyonce's song featuring Megan Thee Stallion without seeing, "Ooh, I'm a savage." That's all I hear in the whole damn song. Yeah, Beyonce stole that song from her, y'all. We don't understand that and know that. That's no longer, you know, song. Okay. So my number 6. Well, that question. I don't think my list is pretty damn good here. Okay. I'm going with Macho Man Randy. I'm a savage. Let me put a jacket on. Let me put a jacket on.
Now I'm gonna pull my executive consultant card here.
I was doing that,
ladies
next
and
too.
gentlemen. It looks like we have a tie, a triple threat tie between Mr. Perfect,
a triple threat tie,
Owen, and Brett. I could not choose between 3 of these, which is the best technical wrestler. I could not rank these, although I do think that Owen slightly is better than Brett. But I can't choose between Brett and Mr. Perfect. So for me, I got to give them all the nod. 3 of the best technical wrestlers. They will definitely make my top 5, 7 technical wrestlers of all time list. With my number 1 probably being Kurt Angle. If you want to consider him technical wrestlers. If not, I definitely put
he's the epitome of technical wrestler.
I put Dean Malenko in there. I'd probably put Taz in there. But yeah, it's
guess what?
The Hart brothers and Mr. Perfect.
Unpopular review, right? Unpopular opinion. I was never a Taz guy. Like I like Taz. I didn't think outside the suplex. I didn't think Taz was as good as a technical wrestler as everybody says he is. No, I just didn't.
His suplex was just nasty to me, man. Every person I created on any wrestling game always had Taz suplexes because I just love the way he was so short and he could snap them bitches and he could pick up almost anybody.
I need some commercials. So we're gonna keep going because I want to play nothing else. We're gonna get out of here. So number 5 on my list. Last year, or the year before last. I think it was year before last. To me, I put the best work I ever did together in my life. And I put when did you fall in love with pro wrestling? It was something that my wife came up with off of the movie, was that Brown Sugar? When did you fall in love with hip hop? And so I wanted to put a spin on that. And I sit down fillers of, people I'm close to and I admire, and everybody couldn't make the list, but the ones I admire most, made the cut. And I was really mad because when editing, sometimes I was telling my son, and I preach this, you have to make sure you watch your shit before you can send it out. And my portion of me talking about this guy and why he was my number 1 was not mentioned. And I'm going to mention it right now. Dusty Rhodes, to me, is the reason why Mike Knoxxx watches professional wrestling. I'm watching wrestling as a child. My father and my uncle, shout out to my Uncle Jerry, taking to WrestleMania. God forbid we are living. I'm taking you to WrestleMania in 2 years. I'm going to come get you, and we're going to take you to WrestleMania and go to your first wrestling match. Because without you and my father, I wouldn't be watching wrestling. And I watched this guy right here. And I hated the Four Horsemen. You heard the story millions of times. I thought it was so real when they broke his arm. Like him going against Tully Blanchard, cutting. Dusty did things that Black brothers did. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, for he was in his head with the clippers. You know what I'm saying? He was a march with the pen in Hard Times, Daddy. Is to me the greatest promo of all time. It's the greatest promo of all time to me.
It's definitely up there.
It's the hit 'em up to me of a wrestling thing, not like what a pipe bomb did, calling people out, like staying within character, speaking about character, about yourself. It was a self-made promo about who he was, and it's to this day to me the greatest promo of all time. Number 5 on my list, The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. I'm not gonna lie, it was the first time my children saw me cry, guys. Living in Virginia when he passed away. And I actually wanted my kids to see me cry. So I wanted my sons to know that it's okay for you to cry. It doesn't matter what you cry for. It doesn't make you a punk and make you soft. Come at me, bro. Anybody. You know what I'm saying? And I did. I shed a tear to Dusty Rhodes dying. And I didn't even know that, man. I told my kids I don't even know this guy. But he had that much of an impact on my life that Dusty Rhodes had. Number 5, The American Dream. That's why I love his son so much. This doesn't matter. I love both his sons.
Number 5 for me. It's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio. Ric Flair. I know I said I had Ric Flair on my list, but come on, man. How naive do y'all think I am? I said my list was going to be modernized, and it is. It's very modern.
I was wondering when some old people's going to make this list. But he's so old and current, it's like he just retired.
You know what I'm saying? But it's hard. If you like anybody that talks trash and they're braggadocious, you cannot not put Ric Flair on your list. He cannot not be an influence to you. Like, when you got people like Migos, Ric Flair drip, you got Maybach Music getting Ric Flair samples. You got Ric Flair. He got a clothing line called Ric Flair Drip now.
Yeah.
Come on. He's just cool. He's cool. Ric Flair is cool. It's no other way to put it. But his championship reign, he calls it 21 time. He says it's actually 21 time. They don't count a couple of them Jones. But no, we don't do all that. Your career's over. Let it go. We cool with that.
That's all right. Because his daughter, Charlotte Flair, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Charlotte Flair is his daughter, and she might win it. If anybody can beat the record, she can. Number 4 on my list. Speaking about the great ones, it was such a layup and such a pass off tonight. I was outside today, right, playing ball with my kids. It's 3 of them. And they couldn't beat me. Shut them out. Push them out the way. Say, move. Get out the way. Little kid, you like 5'2". Get up out of my way. Then came in the house and was like, damn, I'm winning. Right? But number 4 on my list, the great one himself, Dice said, arguably the greatest talker of all. He didn't say arguably. I said that, but he said greatest talker of all time. I say arguably the greatest.
You know what? We might as well just keep going because that's mine too.
At number 4? Okay.
Number 4. It's in the chat. Look at it. It's in the I numbered all of mine.
Okay.
It's in number 4 Rock.
So, it don't matter if it's this Rock, if it's that Rock, if it's the early Rock, Dwayne Rock.
It
Johnson.
does matter if it's the early Rock.
No, not die.
Curly hair, Maya Via Rock, because he sucked, bro.
No, not die, Rocky die.
Corporate Rock.
Corporate Rock. I'm talking about Rock.
He had to fake Adidas windbreakers on.
Even when Rock joined the Nation, I loved it. When he joined the corporation, it was even more. When he wore the sweatsuit, like he was like working out thing. Wasn't even a sweatsuit. Like that's what you work out in. To the ring.
And now Roman does the same shit.
Yeah. Number 4.
But Roman got his own logo on his shit though.
You do got that. The most electrifying man of all of entertainment, Dwayne Johnson. Your take. Where you going with him, Jay? You got something to add to that?
Oh, number 4. You can go ahead and go right to number 3.
Number 3.
Guess my top 3. I can't guess your top 3.
Number 3. I am the game. You can hate me, but listen. Your boy Mike Knoxxx was known as a heartbreaker. So I got HBK tatted on my arm. But when I got married, it didn't matter because see how y'all all tuned in for over 3,000 episodes, Mr. 3,000 himself. The game I spit still exists. Got tattooed on my arm too. Woo! So you already know I'm going number 2. I'll tell you right now, because I believe I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Tatted on me! Because that man told me at number 2 that Mike Knoxxx, you know your wrestling. So at number 3, I got the game. Come play me in Madden Hop. If the servers allow you, by the way. Servers are ass. But my gamer tag, the game V1. If not, my second one is Mike Knoxxx, V1. But, and then number 2, I just go into because it went with my tattoos, dice. And number 2 and number 1. Because they all they're all tatted on me. Triple H at number 3. Bret the Hitman Hart at number 2. And Shawn Michaels at number 1. And I will get into my 2-1. Why they're 2-1 at the Dice reveals his 3. And if he got 3, 2 in a row, I don't know. But go ahead, Dice man. Number 3, Triple H.
I do. Okay. So I was getting together something and you kind of threw me off track.
Too.
So before I get into my top 3,
Flago, let's
just give you my honorable mentions.
Oh, I thought we were gonna do that last or next to 1. Okay.
No, because you just gave 2 off, so I'm about to give you my 2.
Okay, but you said honorable mentions though. That's all.
My honorable mentions.
You made a whole slide.
Triple H, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles. I wanted to put AJ Styles at 10. But I just could not yet. We can revisit this in 365 days. Okay. Jericho, he's in that top 15. Like these are all guys that I believe that redoing this list could go in a top 15.
Gotcha.
Right?
Eddie Guerrero will be my number 12. And just keep that there for a second if you're sorry for you going.
But just going off of what I like and my favorites.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Triple H is great, right? He's great, but I didn't want to tune in to see Triple H. I wanted to tune in to see people whip his ass. But
don't matter.
if we're putting intelligent wrestling caps on and we say let's make a real top 10, he's in there.
Gotcha.
No questions asked.
Gotcha.
But for me personally, why I tuned into wrestling every Monday, every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
It's The Rock, Stone Cold. Those
you know what I'm saying? Stone Cold didn't even make my 20.
Yeah. So. But my honorable mentions, though, I got Brock Lesnar, I got Jericho, I got Eddie Guerrero. I will never, not ever have Eddie. I think Eddie Guerrero is, to me, one of the most best technical wrestlers of all time, in my opinion. Also, with that, speaking of Eddie Guerrero.
Excuse me! This is Vicky Guerrero, and you're listening to the Soul and Sports with Mike Knoxxx and the crew.
Olé! Yeah, because I've interviewed everybody.
Okay, so number 3 for me.
Oh, my honorable mention, actually, beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Go ahead.
Beautiful Bobby Eaton. You know how I feel about him.
You know what? I'm surprised that he was not there.
No.
So when did he make your 15 to 20?
Absolutely. He's 11. If I could have found the grid when I made my finishing product to put 11 in there, I'd have had it. But I couldn't find one to make a collage with 11. I barely found one with 10. Okay.
I also have Shawn Michaels on my list. I didn't put him on. I forgot to put him on the slide. But like I told you, I was at work. Just doing.
I know who won it.
Writing down people that I liked. Right. And before I knew it, I had 20 people. And I said, well, damn, who can I get rid of?
This has never changed for me.
You know what I'm saying?
Was where I was going to put Cena was the hardest one for me. Because I am really a big Cena fan. But I think he falls to 12 for me. Because
he's not a favorite.
When it comes to what I value in wrestling, that's still the most that matters, he lacks in some of those things that I love about. If you look at my list, you really can't really say somebody can't wrestle.
Right.
Despite how I always talk about how that doesn't matter. They all tell a really good story.
Ron, I can leave out HBK because he's a non-motherfucking factor in my book and why I didn't tune into Monday Night Raw. That's why.
Well,
that you keep your list. You keep your list, and I keep mine. Unless you won't get on this camera, we can debate it, and I can take your soul like Chang Sung does.
Listen,
I'm just saying.
It's what? It's
Scott, stop reading. Stop reading and then bringing up this blasphemy to me. Stop doing it. Stop doing it.
Posted by WWE.
It can't be out. What? Anyway, number 2.
Okay, number 2.
You.
Well, who was number 3?
Oh, number 3 for me.
Yeah.
I'm never defensive, Vaughn. You can't beat me in any debate. I promise you that. I promise you that. Kurt Angle, the greatest. He is the number one wrestler of all the times. You want to talk about anybody in that square circle? I don't think anybody can out-wrestle him. But he makes number 3 for me. Only because the other two are they're just too influential in why I watch wrestling. They just are. And Kurt Angle is just too good. He's just that damn good.
Number 2,
Fatal 4-way. Second. No, I don't care about this tournament no more. I don't even care about this tournament no more. I don't care about this tournament.
What happened?
The second chance fatal 4-way tag match. I'm done. I don't even care. I don't care no more. I don't care no more. You put Mandy in there. That's still a tag team. Come on now.
You don't really tag with them. That's triple for them. I'm just saying that a little bit. I think that matters.
Man, I ain't watching SmackDown. I don't even want to watch NXT now. Trash.
But you got number 2, man.
Number 2 for me, the Almighty. This man's influence cannot be erased, no matter how much disrespect he try to put on this man's name. I have no disrespect for Hulk Hogan, but Terry, kiss my ass. But Hulk Hogan, that's my fucking guy. NWO for life. Hogan, the ultimate heel of wrestling. You can't deny Hogan. You can't deny what he's done, how he's influenced professional wrestling, how he's been a reason why you would tune into wrestling. If you like the good guy, you still tune into him. If you like the bad guy, you tuned into him. It doesn't matter. You can look at me with this deer stuck in headlights, bored camel face look all you want to, but you can't deny it. You can't deny it, Mr. Knoxxx. Acknowledge that man and give him his damn name back. His name is Hulk Hogan. Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Well, I'm going to acknowledge the man Hulk Hogan. The man's name is Hulk Hogan.
That's why that's your list. But I'm going to say this. When you say don't deny that man, right? I'm going to use Paul Heyman's words. When he spoke about Benoit, he said, fuck him. Right? Fuck him. If I had to forget somebody for murder, I can forget somebody for racism. And that's why he won't make my list. And yes, you may think what you're speaking about is a wrestling fact. It is a wrestling fact. It is a wrestling fact.
Because I was thinking about this. I knew that you were still going to keep this stance as I was driving home, right? I knew you was going to keep this stand. Don't disrespect that man. Put that man face up there. I knew you was going to get to that, right? So, as a man, right, you don't like Phil Brooks, but you cheer your ass off for CM Punk, right? True or false? You stated on this show that you do, right? So, Hulk Hogan, when he is not with the cameras, he's Terry.
No, I said
Terry is speaking in the benefits of his own home.
I said, listen, don't take my words that I've said to you a million times. I don't
give a fuck. Hold on.
He got caught, and he said it, and he went on Good Morning America and gave me a shit, poor, piss apology. So that's where it goes. But that's your list. We can move on. I'm not going to beat you.
And you'll still bump R. Kelly, don't want you?
No, I don't. I don't even close to it. I don't.
All right. Number one.
What we got? It's nowhere in my phone.
What we got? Number one.
As soon as I hear one pop up, I go, damn, I got to turn that one off too. I get mad.
I just told you about R. Kelly leg shaking featuring Ludacris. You said what? Really?
I didn't say R. Kelly then. I didn't pay attention to that.
Oh my God.
I'm being honest.
Oh my God.
I didn't hear you.
All right.
When you're in the party on Xbox Live, I got you on like 4 because your music be so loud. So I can't hear. So I just turned it. I got kids in my ears.
Stop talking to me. You try to act like you listen to have a conversation.
One, that doesn't make your list. This man is the greatest in-ring entertainer in wrestling history. Okay, it's a reason why he's over him because he's my 1.1. But he lacks something that he did never lack, and that's charisma. And we've said it a dozen times forward and a dozen times backwards. Arguably, the second half of his career is better than this one. This is the one I respect, not respect the most. I like the most because of the way he came off as the heartbreaker and the things that he did. The greatest breakup of a tag team in wrestling history. Dare we say I play it almost every week? Well,
one without the other isn't any good. Oh, I knew he was going to do that.
So this guy does it all. And again, when he comes out, he came out with the new one because he knows a church man now. He's changed his life. He's off the booger, sugar, and the painkillers. And he does the praying to God. Come on, how do I end the show? That inches on his knees. He's saying a prayer before it happens. It's amazing. He's arguably has been in the greatest matches in WrestleMania history. Yeah. Shawn Michaels, HBK, number 1.
I need to, before I get to my number 1, really quick, I need to address something. King Vaughn, I see you. And you said CM Punk Phil Brooks didn't murder somebody, use the N-word and double down on it. I just want to acknowledge the simple fact of the matter that Triple H and Ric Flair damn near wanted to call Booker T a nigga. And we all knew that.
We don't say that
and
word,
hold up. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. But you still got him in your list that you posted here. So why can you acknowledge that, but you can't acknowledge Hogan?
See,
I won't stand for it. However, I'm going to my number 1. I'm going to my number 1.
You can talk about it off there. It's a wrong thing. Because the fact of the matter is, what someone almost said doesn't count versus what somebody said. I don't put Ric Flair, which you have 2 openly facing people on your list.
This is
I
the
get
point.
it.
This is
But
the
Triple
point.
H,
I'm not hurt about it, and I don't care.
Triple H never said it on
because
camera.
I've said I know that people have said worse about people in their comfort of their own home. If you put a camera in your house, I'm pretty sure some shit that you don't want people to hear that you said. But you gonna stand on it, or you gonna be like, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that even in my own home." Whatever I say in my 4 walls, my house, I'm doubling the fuck down.
Okay, but guess what? He didn't double down on it. Okay, and I give what Vaughn said. He gave my reasoning for over it all, and we can go back to your number 1. It's the piss poor apology. If the man would have said, "You know what? I was wrong. I was in my home. You know, whatever. I shouldn't have said that. No one should say that. Whatever. Cool. Welcome back to the club." But he didn't. And that's why the Black Wrestling Alliance don't fuck with him, because of that reason. That's all we want. We want an apology. Like everything else in this world, everything now is cancel culture. But he gets a pass because he's so big and so remembered in wrestling. So many people love him. Y'all refuse to see the racism in him. But if let somebody else be a regular person that you don't like do those things, it's F that guy. That's the problem. That's the disconnect. And that's why wrestling fans are unique in who they are. Because wrestling fans don't care. They like who they like. Right? I still have a hard time.
Okay. This is the point. Like, why should I care about what LeBron does off the court as far as charities and all this shit? Should I care? Or should I care?
Never do.
How much Jordan supports or doesn't support the black people in jail reformity? No, that's my point. I don't care.
Okay,
that's my point. I only care about what I see on TV and what they're showing me, right? So the kayfabe shit, right? Everybody on social media thinks that they are a news reporter, right? Everybody wants to break the news. Everybody wants to be the first to break the news about, oh, this happened to this person, this happened to that person. What happened to the days where you didn't care and the only shit that you saw on the TV was the shit that you saw on the TV? That's the only perspective that I'm looking from. That is it. I don't care about somebody's personal life. Right, I just don't care because I'm only there for the entertainment. But going into my number 1, I think you know this.
I know it is. I was there. I told you when I was in Contention Thunder, going to AEW. That was the highlight of my night, dude. I had never saw Sting before, and that was dope. Like that was dope to me. Go ahead, number 1,
Sting. I mean, the constant professional of WCW, the flagship guy of WCW, arguably the greatest WCW wrestler there ever was. You could probably put a couple people in there. You put Flair up in there. I mean, outside of those two, I mean, Hogan had a pretty decent run, not as good as those two, but it was pretty good. Savage, not so much. In the early years, yes, but by then you hate the Savage when he had like the see-through sheer shirt with the stars on it. I love that Savage.
NWA, I think of Ric Flair. To me, I separate the two companies. When I think of WCW, it's Sting. I think it was.
And then with he debuts in TNA and goes on for another 10 years, and then comes to WWE, and now he's in TNA. Like the guy just doesn't stop.
Right?
AEW. I'm sorry. And Chris Jericho Sting is like 63, 64. Jericho's not that far off of him. Like as far as years, Jericho's like 56 or something like that. Like. Jericho's getting up there, and Jericho's in pretty good shape. Sting is actually in pretty good shape. I mean, he's not like Hogan, where Hogan is like,
they both right now are walking with a bad back. But just to recap right here, my number 10, Barry Windham. Number 9, the Great Muta. Number 8, Daniel Bryan. Number 7, Razor Ramon. Number 6, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Yeah, you're thinking. Number 5. The real man, American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Number 4, The Rock himself. Look at that. That's The Rock right there, Dice. That's The Rock. Number 3, Triple H. Number 2, Bret Hart. And number 1, Shawn Michaels for me. Number 10, we got Kane for Dice. We got Big Papa Pump. We got Edge, rated R superstar, and the youngest of all time. We got a 3-way tie at number 6 with Mr. Perfect, Bret Hart, and Owen Hart. Number 5, Ric Flair. Number 4, The Rock. Number 4 is from mine too. You got honorable mentions right there. Triple H, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, Chris Jericho, Y2J. I was going to be a younger Y2J fan for me. Once he got out of this moniker of Y2J, I kind of just was a fan coach.
I like Jericho with the big beard. I think that was my favorite.
Jericho, Lionheart, Chris Jericho, the first 3 years.
List of 1,000 moves, Jericho.
That was my guy. Number 3, Kurt Angle. Number 2 is that guy, and then number 1, Sting. So, with that being said, guys, we're gonna get up out of here. I appreciate you. We appreciate you for chiming in, tuning in next week, same back time, same back channel, but on time. And most importantly, guys, this is important to me. All right, do not wake up tomorrow morning and say to yourself, "I love me some me," and don't love God. I'm just being honest with y'all. That's kind of crazy. I'm out of here, y'all. We out of here, y'all. Fingers.
Yeah, Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on him. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's because he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? We about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go! At the money, now you're all what you getting in. Perfect Plex Radio, got them listening. Mike Knoxxx, from Cena to The Rock, or whatever wrestler is hot. News and interviews, this a one-stop shop. Matter of fact, let me give you more choices. You could call in and be the voice with the voiceless. So what you waiting on? Let's get it cracking.